me to treat that particular type of hair?
With our curly hair, we also have to put more moisture in it, and that's really why a lot of us are dealing with a lot of breakage, because without moisture, the hair is going to break. Also, too, that 4-type hair, we have to realize too, I'm going into a little bit of science, but it has medulla, which means it's very thin, so it's fragile. It looks like it's not fragile, but it's fragile. And if once you straighten it, you can break the bonds in the hair. So, like I said, you guys have to put more moisture on there as much as possible. Without it, you're going to have a lot of breakage.
That's awesome. That's excellent. Now, some of us have braids, some of us have locks. Do we need moisture for those types of hair as well? I used to have big old afro, y'all. So do we need moisture for those too?
If you have your braids in your hair for a long time, really we're not supposed to wear braids for a long period of time. It wasn't made for that. But if you have braids in your hair for a long period of time, you need to shampoo your hair because it becomes really oily. Because when you activate your sebaceous glands, which is your oily glands, it's going to bring to the surface, it's going to have abrasion on your scalp. And if you don't take that abrasion off your scalp, it's going to cause harm to it. So you have to shampoo your hair if you're going to wear braids consistently. But I advise you don't wear braids too long.
Well, let me tap on that. Now, people wear braids for different reasons. For hair protective style, correct? Now that we have in this, the seasons has changed and it's very getting hot. And a lot of people's like, oh, what I'm gonna do with my hair? Because you may be into your health working out. Okay, so for me, what I tell my clients that if you are getting these type of protective styles pertaining to braids, number one, be careful of the choice of type of brand braid that you get. And if you are getting them, do not keep them in too long, because what happens is the hair feeds off our natural hair. And if you have that synthetic type hair braid on your hair, on top of your natural hair, what it does, it feeds off of it. You don't see that is eating away our natural strands. So when you keep them in too long, you notice that your hair is thinning out, dry, all that, because it's suffocating. And so we have to learn that it's okay, but don't keep it in too long, and always go back and get proper treatment, proper conditioner, proper moisturing. You have to continue to do that, because that's the way that you keep your hair growing strong and healthy, by proper nourishment, number one, keeping it properly conditioned and shampooed. So yeah, so you are getting those braids, and I know, and sometimes I just say, well, depending on the type of hair, if your hair too fine, I'll tell my clients, please, let's try to find something else other than, because you don't want that tension, because then you're going to have to start to lose your hair. And that's one of the things we can get in a little bit further of what causes your hair to break. And these type of protective hairstyles, certain ones will cause that. And then if you do it, if you keep it too long, it's sometimes when you come to me, as far as the hair growth and repair, it's very hard to repair that.
Also, too, you have to be careful too with the braiding. If you have your stylist is braiding your hair too tight, just tell the stylist to loosen that braid up a little bit, because the more tighter the braid is, the more you're going to lose your hair too as well. I know sometimes we go to braiders and we feel like they're more in tune with our hair. They're really not in tune with our hair, because if they was in tune with our hair, they wouldn't braid our hair so tight. So you have to be careful. Also with the kids, be careful too with the braids that you put on your kids' hair too as well. Some of them braid hair has chemicals in it, so you need to shampoo that hair before you put that hair on any of your head scalp, because it will cause some bumps, it will cause some redness, some breakouts. So be careful. So if you have an itchy effect when you put them braids in your hair, take it out immediately. That means something's wrong with that hair.
Exactly, because that's where I had a particular patient came in, and one time she had those braids in, and she said, oh, my scalp was itchy. I said, well, did you take it out? She said, no. When she came out, she lost a lot of her hair, and I had already been taking care of her. And this is before the season changed, and her hair was strong and healthy. And when she got those braids, it actually took her hair out, and we had to start all over again. So the little babies out here, I love my babies. Please be careful of putting this type of hair in their hair because it's very young, and our hair changes. When we're young, we're still growing. Our hair, its texture is changing. It's changing. So we have to be careful what we're doing, especially as they are young.